Good afternoon and good evening, and welcome to a very special seminar. The Rainbow Six is a mandatory payout tomorrow here at Santa Anita. It's been a fantastic weekend. The Belmont, I don't think it did not disappoint, and it was a heck of a race, Chappie.
Yeah, it was amazing. Essential Quality proved that he's the best horse going right now, the best 3-year-old. But hats off to Hot Rod Charlie as well. They were clear of everyone else by many lengths, but Hot Rod Charlie took all the heat early and kept going, and I was very impressed. What about you, Gino, for both of them?
Yeah, I think it was one of those things where, like, Rock Your World broke slow again. And so Hot Rod Charlie broke great, and I think he just ended up on the lead, and it was like, I'm going. I'm taking it. I'm not going to try to take back and grab a hold of him and play that game. And he was so good. I was so impressed with him. And even, to be honest, watching the race again a couple times before coming on with you guys, Rombauer, if you watch his trip again, it was a little sneaky. And I don't think he was ever going to beat the top two, but he started the move kind of with Essential Quality, and he moved inside, and there was nowhere to go for him. Essential Quality started to go. Rombauer just kind of had to wait. And then by the time he got clear, he might have just been the distance too much and flat. But the West Coast horses, too, they ran well again. They really acquitted themselves well again in major. Like, this is a solid group. Like, those horses today that all ran well, they're all really, really nice horses.
Yeah, no question.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, when I was looking at the race, I was looking at the fractions going, man, I love Hot Rod Charlie, but he's not going to be there at the end. Right? He can't. No. Too fast.
Yeah.
Man, he ran way too good to lose. He took all the heat. He won the battle and then almost won the war. And hats off to that man behind Chappie, Doug O'Neill, for doing a great job. Getting this one ready, and Lava Man helped get him ready, and it was a team effort. But
take nothing away from the winner.
Yeah, but also hats off to Brad Cox for getting that one ready. Hey,
I think these were the top two from the Breeders' Cup Juvenile.
Yeah,
all the way into Belmont. Like, horses generally, when they don't keep their form like that.
You were 100% right. That is very true. Although we didn't get 94-1 today on Hot Rod Charlie.
No. Hey, we are going to get some good prices. I think we're going to get some good money tomorrow as we have a mandatory payout in our Rainbow Pick 6. That pool is expected to approach $3 million. I love betting these mandatory payouts, and we have one tomorrow, and then, of course, on closing day. So, we're like Oprah here. You get a mandatory payout. You get a mandatory payout. It's going to be fantastic. Before we get into it, Gina, what's been going on? We love what G said, and tell me about it.
Yeah, this was another fun week. I had like 6 different handicappers on to talk about the Belmont Stakes. Chappie joined me on Derby Day when I had, I think, like 15 different people all going through different races, and it was a blast to get the opportunity to have a conversation with a bunch of really sharp handicappers, and then I get to kind of introduce some of my really smart friends that I learned from to everybody else out there. So it worked out really well. I'm obviously a little bummed that the Lakers season came to an end too, bummer, but got to look at it realistically. Like, you're injured. You're not probably going to beat a lot of good teams when you're banged up, and you're missing really key players. So hats off to the Suns. They deserve all the credit in the world. We'll see on Sunday if the Clippers can get the job done in advance for LA, because they're gonna have a Game 7.
It's amazing in that series, Gino. First of all, like you said, without Anthony Davis, you didn't have much of a chance. But in the Clippers series, every away team has won the first 6 games, and
that thing has flipped. The Clippers were about to go down 3-0. They were down by 20 points in the first quarter of Game 3. Then they made a whole bunch of adjustments, went small. They looked like they were going to run away with the series. Then Dallas adjusted back. They went big. They put Boban in, and it's just a chess match back and forth. It's been so awesome. Kawhi was great. Luke has been great.
Yeah, Luke has been phenomenal, and Kawhi just took that game over last night late. So, should be interesting.
That's the most fun series of all of them so far. It's just, you got some phenomenal players, and Luka he's unreal, man.
Unbelievable. And he'll let you know, too. He'll tell you about it. Right after he hits the shot in your face, he'll tell you can't guard me.
I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of his, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Things started, Georgie. Come on.
All right, let's go. Let's do it. All right, it starts in race 4. There is a scratch of the one Worldly Sermon. Maybe some more scratches tomorrow, but let's kick it off with you, Gino. Since you're the guest, you get first shot. Tell me about the 4th.
I hate having to be like a chalk player right off the bat, but I think if you're playing a pick 6 ticket or like pick 4s, pick 5s, and you think one of the favorites that's a short price is a standout, the smart thing to do is just to kind of single them and move on, or you play against them if you're going to spread out. I really can't find someone else that I get excited about other than Supersonic Flyer in here. I'm looking at this horse. She really feels like she's going to have a massive pace advantage. Jessica's been riding just phenomenal out there too. And look at the races against the maiden claimers. They're good. They're really good. What I like too, she's going to be heavily favored, but she's not a horse who's already been beaten as the favorite repeatedly. She's actually just really well spotted in here. There's not a whole lot else that's going to be able to go with her early on. So, look at the races that she didn't run well. They were against better, and both of them have produced 2 next out winners. So they were really sharp races too. The cutback's going to help her because she got a little bit tired last time out. Bossy Soul to me would be the other one, but that's basically just on the class drop. And what concerns me about her is the rail. She's been really slow away from the gate twice, and now she gets the inside draw. So if she doesn't break all that well, she could get in like that tough trip. Supersonic Flyer is probably going to be really tough. I'm going to try to turn this thing into a pick 5 and just single it right off the bat.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you, Gino. I mean, Supersonic Flyer, how many times do you see 2 to 5 morning line on a horse? But
No.
very rarely. But last time, finally cutting back to 6.5, going 1 turn. Broke from the rail last time, now drawn outside. The 2's the only other one that's logical because of the drop. But like you said, the rail could be tough. And just the lead looks there for the taking for Jessica Pfeiffer. So, Georgie?
Man, Jessica's been riding so hot and so well. And I just, it's a complete standout. If you read, I write in the program every day and also online. And I'm going to treat this pick 6 as if it was a pick 4 because I have 2 singles, and I'm going to do only the 5. I'm going to do more than 1 ticket. I'm not trying to beat this 5. I just, if she loses, then I lose. I mean, we'll move on to the mandatory on front. It looks like such a complete standout.
It really does.
And when you got dead money in the pool, it's okay to get a free square. And just, try to get some value elsewhere. But to me, it's a free square, and I think we're all in agreement.
Yeah, she'll be really tough. I mean, she'd have to really, break slow, get in some trouble or something to not have a clear lead, or we'd have to see a lot of improvement from the 2. Or I just couldn't make very strong cases. These horses weren't even horses that got a lot of action early on. I don't know how good they were even supposed to be. So a really nice spot for Supersonic Flyer to get a chalky start.
All right, we start race number 5, getting into perhaps maybe we can beat a favorite or 2. Chappie, this race is a mile, maiden claiming 50,000. How do you see it?
Contentious race here, Georgie. Right now, and I'm not sure I'm going to structure the ticket yet. I'm kind of looking at the bookends right now.
Yeah.
The one horse, I don't know how you pronounce that. Cinti Winta.
I think it's Quinta Winta.
Quinta Winta. We're going to go with that. Quinta Winta.
He went with. I trust Frank. I always trust Frank. He looks that stuff up. He's good. He's good with the pronunciations. Yeah.
Frank, we trust. That horse, problems at the start. Had trouble in both races. Makes the drop down from the maiden special weight to maiden 50, which is always important. Rispoli, who's riding very, very well in the grass, as always. It seems to be back in that zone, climbs back aboard, and I look for better out of this horse. And I like the outside Golden Journey. Last time out, this horse lacked some room late, but I think the key there maybe was the blinkers off for the improvement. And we know that with the Pratt away, the mice will play, and Hernandez has taken well advantage of that. I know Pratt will be back tomorrow, but those are my top 2 choices, the 1 and the 8.
Yep.
Yeah, to me, it's a race where I bet on Quinta Winta last time out and really did have some problems. And I think getting Rispoli back on is going to help the chances of the Paddy Gallagher charge. Ran great in a nice field in Ireland. Ran good on debut here at Santa Anita. I thought it was going to improve. I thought it was going to get a good price. Found all kinds of problems that day, Gonzalez. So they're back to Rispoli. I think he's got a big shot, but I'm basically, I know we're trying to look for some value, but I'm pretty much throwing out 5, 6, and 7 that look atrocious, and using everybody else because I Give Up can win a nice second. Hector Palma, you got Piper again. She could be sitting on a big day. She's got a couple of live runners here today. Belize didn't run bad at all. Didn't have room, and now gets Mario Gutierrez, who's actually been riding better than normal. He's been doing good lately. So Belize has got a big shot and just didn't have room last time. Neil Drysdale is starting to win races too. Mongolian Mission dropping from maiden special weight. Maldonado won a race today. Golden Journey. You can make a case for all of them. Gino?
Yeah, we're pretty similar. I have 814 as the 3 that I'll end up using in the pick 6. All the things that you both said about Quinta. I mean, she actually had legitimate trouble on April the 3rd too.
Right.
Slow start, then down on the inside. So she's been really unlucky in both of her starts on the drop inside with Rispoli. She'll be in really great shape. The 4 Mongolian Mission has a shot to steal this race, especially with someone like Maldonado aboard. Just the repeat of the race she ran in her debut, going a mile against maiden 50s, that would put her right in the mix with them. And then Golden Journey, some of the reasons you mentioned also. This horse was actually looming up nicely inside. The horses to her outside were in the clear, and she just got caught and had to wait. They went by, and that might have been the difference in the race, honestly. A little unlucky there. So 1, 4, 8 for me to try to get through leg 2.
I'm with you. I'm going to throw the 4 in there as well, George. I will probably let the 2 and the 3 beat me. An 0 for 16 maiden, and as much as I love Neil Drysdale, a little bit cold right now, but I'm going to try to get away with 3 deep there.
Yeah, the Mongolian Mission. If you just play straight maiden droppers to maiden claiming, they do so well. I mean, you just blindly use that in your tickets. It's going to do well in the long run.
Even if they look lousy, their form.
Yeah, and this one doesn't look lousy. This one doesn't.
If they have any bit of speed, right? If they've showed any kind of pace and been involved against Tougher, and then they drop, then you really think they're going to last. They're going to more.
Yeah, I've seen them not show nothing, and then when they drop to maiden claiming, as soon as the race goes off, you realize this is a class. Look at that; it looks so much classier than the rest of them. It's amazing.
Yep.
All right, let's move on to the late pick 4. This one's going a mile on the dirt. Optional claiming 20,000, and it's a field of 5. You got a runner who looked fantastic on the grass. Let's see if that one can go to the dirt. Gino?
Yeah, I'll probably use 3 in here. I promise in the last couple, I've got a couple prices. This one, pretty formful though. Harper's Gallop, I think, is a little intriguing, who now comes into the Leonard Powell barn. They're going to be on the lead. I think she's going to go and just try to take them as far as she can. So I think she's a sneaky horse to use because she may be able to get away. And if you look, the last time she was on the dirt, she's actually run pretty well in some of her dirt form too. So I'm going to give her a little bit of a look. Tis Wonderfully is obviously very, very sharp, like Santa Anita, like a 7-time winner and really deserving of being a short price in here. And then Ultimate High has been very sharp. The pedigree's fine for dirt too. And this is a horse who seems to be working fine also over the dirt. So yeah, I'll be 2, 3, 4 in here. Pretty obvious with logical horses for the most part. But I do think Harper's Gallop is one that you probably want to throw in because there is an opportunity that she could sneak away. It looks like Tis Wonderfully has some speed too, but I just think she's going to be more of a pressing type. And if they let the 2 go, maybe she can get brave.
Yeah, this is for me. This is kind of the because I'm going to try to get away with just a few in the first couple races. I'm going to probably hit the all button here. You can kind of make a case for everybody. I just find it interesting that Pratt ends up on the rail for the Napster, Steve Knapp. I like everything Gino said about the other 3 horses, and Little Miss Ellie's got a little bit of speed and stretches out, so you never know. Maybe this horse, gets on the engine early and gets loose early. So remember, free PPs at santanita.com, George. Free PPs, santanita.com.
Yeah, definitely go to santanita.com to get those free PPs. And I'm going to be betting with Express Bet or First Bet because you're getting $10 free. And free is always good.
Just like when we pay Gino to come on the show.
Man.
I should pay you for the company of you.
Oh man, he's coming on again. We're using him again. Yeah, that's so definitely get the PPs for free. Go to santanita.com. Definitely take advantage of the free $10. They're giving you $10. And if you don't win, it shows up in your account a couple days later. You go, hey, $10. Whoa. It's like finding money under the sofa. It's fantastic. It's like, whoa.
Right. So Gino, when you play, and then a couple days later, you could take George and I out for some coffee with the $10.
Exactly. Perfect. Or we can hit like Shakey's Bunch of Lunch, maybe, or we can get one of those McDonald's, something.
Very good. All right. The another thing is I'm going to be using all in this race as well, because it's don't forget, it's only a 20-cent minimum, so you really you can get a lot of coverage. Like for instance, my ticket's $96. It's under 100, and I'm using all in this race and all in the last race. So you certainly there's many possibilities that you could use, and I don't see it even as a $96 ticket. I see it as an $86 ticket because I'm getting $10 for free. So there you go. All right. So I'm using them all, and moving on to the next race, and I'm going to start this next race because that's another one of my singles. I absolutely love Missy P. Astute was that was a tough runner that she faced, and I know she was supposed to win, but Astute is good. There was no question about Astute's talent going in. She ran a 2 on the Thorograph sheets on debut. It was a sparkling effort. 7 furlongs. She was right there. Now she's cutting back to 6 furlongs. Her pedigree on the grass. Into Mischief, one of the hottest sires in the country. You look at the Tomlinson number, 353. That's a strong turf number. So she should love the turf. It's got speed, it's got class. By far the best number. I'm using Missy P as a single. There's some other ones that could win, but you gotta take some bold actions when you're betting pick sixes. At some point you gotta say, you know what? I'm going all in on this. I got pocket aces here. If I lose, then I lose. So a single for me enables me to spread later on in the day, earlier on in the day. So I'm taking my chance again. Like I said, I'm just going to try to make it a pick 4, and Missy P is going to be a single for me. Gino?
Missy P will also be on my ticket. She's a half to a horse named Lawton, who is a multiple winner on the turf and a turf sprinter. Astute is another Mandela filly who's 3 for 4, and the only loss came against Grade 1 company. I think it shows you how good he thinks too that he's taking a shot against the boys, in a spot like this. So she to me is a must use, because I think she's probably going to be able to sit right behind Love My Jimmy in here. I'm going to use the inside 3. The one, What Makes Sammy Run, was really good, and I'm not too concerned about the rail because he actually, I was saying she because of Missy P. It was getting me confused for a minute. He actually, he broke slow and then took back from the inside last time he drew the 2-hole, and he just made that big sweeping move. So he's already kind of had a similar rail trip, take back and move. The interesting horse that I think might be one to flip into some of your tickets if you're looking for a price in here is the 2 Touchdown Brown. So this is a horse who debuted as a winner, and what I like is in that debut was able to actually sit off a little bit and pass some horses. Came back in career start number 2 and just had like a brutal trip early on. You can put a line right through that race. Career start number 3 comes back and runs really well. Finishes second in a stakes race. Look at the 4 start in the American Pharaoh. Look at who's in that race. Get her number, Rombauer. We're talking about a little bit more of a class level for a horse like Touchdown Brown. Then you come back again in a stakes race. You miss the break again. Obviously, going to have to try the grass, but the dam won 4 times on the grass, and there's a winning turf sibling. Corner's a sneaky trainer, getting horses ready first time out. And so while some of the numbers, off the long layoff aren't incredible, I know he can pop with a horse that's a fresh horse, or a horse like this that's sort of young and going to be in his care for the first time. Touchdown Brown's a little sneaky to me in here. So I'm going to throw this one on my pick 6.
Like you said, Brian Coroner, he won the last race today with a first-time starter. So he's certainly first time in his barn, first time out, can certainly do well. Becerra, we haven't even seen Becerra around lately. So I think it's a good switch of trainer, and certainly he's got an upset chance. Chappie?
Yeah, I'm going to use the same 3 as Gino, actually. I think the 2 was the sneaky one. The replay on the 1's too good not to use. And the 3 definitely has the most talent, but you just never know about facing the boys and the turf. But, she could run off and hide as well. But, and Coroner, interestingly enough, in that last race day, which I was telling some newcomers that horse was very live. It was a 5-year-old first-time starter that he debuted in a maiden special weight.
Yeah.
He could debut that for 40 wherever he wanted. No one was going to claim that horse, so you knew it had some talent. 4-1 winning line, went off at 9-1, easy winner. So I did cash a little bit there. Nice, well, let's move on to the 8th race, George.
Nice.
All right. The pick 6 is a lot like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to find. And so definitely Forrest Gump, I think, is going to be used in this race. Gino, how do you see race number 8, the penultimate race of the day?
This is where I am not using box of chocolates.
Okay.
So this is where I'll try to get a little bit of value. And box of chocolates could absolutely win, but I watched some of those races, and it's just one of those horses that seems like they kind of create ways to lose. They kind of get a little short, or maybe they'll get a little tired. There's finding difference trouble sometimes here and there. So, and what I don't love is that this is a horse who was in the barns of Asmussen twice, Diodoro, and now Sadler. There's a lot of winning barns. Those are barns that win a lot of races, and this horse is only been able to win one time there. I'll look for a couple horses with some more upside. I think the 6 and the 7 are both super logical. They're both going to be on my ticket. Ray, this is sort of like some class relief for Ray. Second start off the short break. I think he's going to kind of work out a nice pressing trip. Albizu actually beat winners last time out. Albizu debuted at Churchill, ran really well, then went over to Keeneland. I love the fact that he's going to be able to put 2 starts together for the first time, too. I think he's going to be a lot fitter of a horse than we may ever seen. And he actually beat a horse who just came back to beat 16,000 claimers next out. The sneaky horse I like, though, is the one, Win Happy. So let's look at Win Happy's first 2 races. Career start number 1. He's in a maiden special weight behind Defunded, who Chappie liked in the Santa Anita Derby. And I think he was 4th in the Santa Anita Derby, and then he went over and ran 4th in the Pat Day Mile. Look who was 2nd in that race, a horse named Following Sea. Since that race, Following Sea won a maiden special weight with a 97 buyer speed figure. Then he went over to Belmont Park, and he won a first level allowance with a 100 buyer speed figure. So Win Happy actually showed a little bit of speed that day against maiden special weights, just like we were talking about. Then in career start number 2 against maiden special weights, look who he runs into. Flightline, the John Sadler monster that won by 13 with a 105 buyer speed figure. This poor horse just ran into a couple of buzzsaws in his first 2, but he showed speed in both of those races. Now career start number 3, drops in class, maiden claimers. He breaks well, and nobody's near him. And it's just a brand new ball game, just like George was saying. He's clear. He's on the lead. He looks super impressive in doing it, and he wins easy going away. I look at this field. There are a couple others that have some speed, but I think if he breaks well from the inside, and because he draws the inside, you got to go. You got to just send hard. If he gets a length on this field, he could be really tough. This could be a separator kind of horse in the pick 6. I'll use the 6 and the 7, but the 1 is going to be a horse that if he's like 8-6, 8-1 or so, I'm going to bet him to win too.
I think he's going to be, Gino, and I think you make good points, just because he's moving from the outside to the inside, which is the only thing that might hurt him, but there's not that much speed. You're right. Maybe luck is golden goes. I would think the 7 probably sits just off. Box of Chocolates is one of those horses that can win, but reminded me exactly of Armor Plate, who ran today for Pete Miller. 1 for 23 with 7 seconds. Armor Plate was 1 for 25 with 7 seconds. And where did Armor Plate run today? Second again. I can't play those horses to win. Now, granted, Rosario was on it the last time. Pratt's here. They're shipping in with the ship and win. Interesting. But those 1 for 23 horses, this is a spread race for me, but you make a good point on Win Happy. Georgie?
Love the sire on Win Happy. The sire is Run Happy. And we have a fond affection for Run Happy here at Santa Anita. So great sire. I'm definitely using Box of Chocolates. Massive upgrade from Rosario to Pratt, right? No? Oh, no.
Wait a little bit. Sometimes Rosario can sit back a little too long, but he's a great
Brad's certainly doing good. I am definitely using Box of Chocolates because I love thoroughgraph numbers. This one comes in he paired his best thoroughgraph number ever. He paired a 5 and a 5. that number towers over the field. If I don't use him and he wins, then I'm taking all the third round numbers and throwing them away. I mean, why even get him if you're not going to use them? So
right, exactly.
there's no way I'm not using him. He could come in second. That's okay. But if I leave him out and he beats me and he's got the best numbers by far, then what am I doing here?
He's the Forrest Gump of Santa Anita.
That's right. Likes a box of chocolate. So hopefully he'll keep running and running. Albizu's been training really well, even though it doesn't show, some sparkling numbers. A couple of clockers I talked to said that May 17th is a.
We lose him?
Uh-oh. Well, yeah. Well, I think he was probably having needed a glass of water or something to look like.
By the way, Albizu, or however you pronounce that, drawn outside the way that horse won easily. That's my top pick in here.
Yep. Beat winners.
But you make a very good case for Win Happy. But Albizu, I think Mulhall is just having a heck of a year.
Yep.
And, drawn outside should sit just off the speed,
perfectly,
which I'm guessing is the 1 and the 5, right? And get a perfect trip. But I'm bookending with you as well. So
I'll go 167.
Let's get to the last, Gino. This is a very, very interesting race.
Yeah, this is a good one.
Thoughts on a few of them. Some horses that maybe had some preps and maybe had some trouble. What are your thoughts here in the last going into this pick 6 carryover?
I almost thought about singling the 5, Jazik, but I'm going to probably end up using the 3 and the 5. Let's start with the 5, Jazik. So Jazik was in the Chad Brown Bard and is a grade 2 place runner who ran really well in all of her first 4 career starts. She came over last time out and she ran for the first time for Michael McCarthy. And she had a fine start, but she was outrun a little and she was a bit back to 6. She never really got a chance to run because she was down on the inside. Not that she was going to win or anything, but it was a race where it looked sort of like a real prep. I think they really wanted to just get a race under her. They weren't asking for a whole lot. Now they stretch out. Second off the bench. That race on April 18th, there were 2 next out winners that day. We have actually seen
prep.
Oh, yeah. Prep for
today.
Right? Exactly.
Yeah.
It's, so you watch the races sometimes and you can just get the feel. And it's frustrating if you bet the horse that day because you're like, oh, well, not that they wouldn't have tried to win, but it was just they wanted to get it under her, get her a little bit of like a fitness. That was her first start since July of 2020.
There was no real intention to win. Yeah. That was all for going a mile today. You are correct.
So now you're going you're exiting a live race. You're going second off the long layoff. You're stretching out to a distance where you've been better. You're going second time McCarthy, second time Santa Anita. I think there should just be a ton of improvement from the 5 Jazik. And the one that's a little sneaky to me, horse who might be able to steal this race on the front end, Freedom Flyer, the 3. So Freedom Flyer has legitimate sprint speed. If you'll notice, her only victory came when she stole a race going 6 furlongs on the grass when she went sub 22 early on. If she goes anything close to those kind of early fractions, that could be run them off their feet type speed in here. Because I look around, you got Delmar Drama who's stretching out. Cassie Bell is probably more of like a sitting just off type. I wanted Ivy League to show more speed last time out. We talked about, I was on with you guys that day. Yep. She really didn't. I don't think she's that kind of quick. So I think Freedom Flyer could steal it. I'll use the 5 Jazik. And this will be a race where I'm kind of got some middle priced horses. So if I'm alive going to this pick 6, it's going to pay fine. Because I know in this race, probably won't have Fantail who no excuses, like no reason why you won't use Fantail. She actually did get into some trouble. It's a ticket that I just feel like could be a little chalky early. So late, I'm going to try to find some more prices in it. And I'll try to, like George said, maybe if I find a single I like early with the 2 to 5 right off the bat, and I can shorten up in some of those first few races. In this race, I'll try to separate and I'll use just 3 of the 5.
Okay, a couple things. I'm with you on both of those. Matter of fact, my top pick is Jazik also, as that was clearly a prep for this race. And I thought this horse had some run, galloped out decently. The one that blew my mind that I wanted to like, and I can't figure out, is the 2, because Fantail was hyped before that race, bet down to favoritism, was definitely off slow and then rank, but turning for home, never switched leads, didn't do anything to impress me. So I don't know what to make of that. but Pratt stays on, and Baltus has been hot lately. So I'm a little confused here, but I see Andrew has joined us now in the dark. So
Yeah.
it's like George went into the witness protection program, and now he's Andrew.
What's up, Artie?
How you doing? They're at it. Yeah. When I was younger in my 20s, they had tip sheets that came out, and they had a guy like me that you couldn't even see him. It was like, this guy here, he's got the hot information. You know, we can't show his face because then
Have the winner Tuesday.
So now they're going to blur it, like pixel him out and have a different voice. Yeah.
Anyway, my computer died.
What do you think?
Let it ride.
Oh man, I just saw Let It Ride like a couple of days ago, man. It was great. Hey, Frank Vermati said hi. He gave us a shout out on Twitter. The three of us wishing us the best of luck. So thank you, Frank Vermati. And I tell you what, I really like. I'm using all in the last race. Like I said, it's a $96 ticket, and so you can see that ticket either in the program if you're here on site tomorrow, or go to santanita.com. You can see my picks. You can see my pick 6 ticket. You can get the free racing form, the past performances, free past performances. So and also we got Trip No Pros has got stuff in there. It's really, there's a wealth of information for you at santanita.com, and I encourage you guys to go in there and check it out. I like a horse called I like a filly called Bestraya in the last race. Bestraya, Patty Gallagher, he was one of these original guys that was bringing, before D'Amato started bringing in Irish imports and runners from other countries. Patty Gallagher was doing this for a living, and this one came in here. First start was in a tough allowance race after running some solid races in Ireland. A second, a first, a second missed by a neck. This was a good runner. I was waiting for this one to come in. Didn't really fire, but it was a tough race. And then last race, really hopped at the start, lost all chance. At 12-1, I think he's a must-use. Again, I'm using them all, but he's a must-use. Fantail, when they opened that gate, Fantail just walked out. I mean, Fantail didn't run until, 5 seconds into the race. And then, came way too late. Now stretches out. I think he's going to do much better. But, Hollywood Girl ran well. It's got the best thoroughgraph numbers going in. So does Cassie Bell. It's a pretty wide open race. You guys like Zeke. Freedom Flyer can steal it. Ivy League, obviously, is a runner. And, I'm not going to go all but one. I did that, man.
No way.
Gino, I went all but two in the golden hour pick 4, and the 2 that I missed came in first and third. Man, gee whiz.
I was gonna say, when you're going the all, when you know you don't have an opinion, just know that you have no opinion.
That's right. That's right. If you're going 7 out of 9, that means you have no idea, and so might as well go with all.
Yeah.
And so anyway, I'm gonna go with all, and hopefully, who's gonna get all the great gifts today is Andrew's girlfriend. It's her birthday today. So hey,
happy birthday!
It's a party.
Oh, happy birthday!
It's a party.
Wow. You know what? He's producing this show right now.
He's producing the show. Well, not anymore. I took over seat.
He wants to kill us because he's ready to leave, and we're sitting here babbling about.
I'm sorry.
Anything other than the pick 6. So, by the way, real quick, if Frank Miramati is watching, I don't know if he is, but he and I, after Hollywood Girl broke her maiden, were both in love with that filly. She didn't break well and flew home to win in the debut. And then I think I bet that horse about 5 times in a row, and the horse broke slow every time. And I finally gave up, and then she almost won last time out, lost by a nose. And I would have probably jumped out of the second floor story if she won. But just Frankie will remember that if he's watching.
And obviously Pratt's got a chance for a big day, but Piper, Jessica's on like 4 super live horses. So
really live.
I don't know. She might do another 4-bagger in there. She's got the 2 to 5 shot. She's on some favorites. So hopefully she'll have a good day. She's one of my favorites. You guys are my favorite. Gino, it is a pleasure to have you on the show.
Anytime you guys need.
We're going to call you more often because you do a phenomenal job. You're always well prepared. You give such great insight, and we appreciate you. Please go in and listen to
That's what she said.
That's what she said.
And
that's what she said.
I hope you're as happy with me tomorrow after like the third leg of the sequence. You know, we'll see how close and how good buddies we are after that, Georgie.
If not, we'll put you in the dark like me. You'll come out like this next time.
We're going in the witness protection program.
My voice I'm sorry, Artie. I know you got to go. Okay, I'm sorry.
All right, I got to go find some, forget about it. I got to go over there. All right, thank you guys. Hey, everybody come out to Saturday tomorrow.
Thanks, guys.